Dear all, welcome to my presentation. At the outset, I would like to thank Professor Hariom Vas, Director SURF, for giving me this opportunity to present my work and discuss with you on a very important topic, which is on every tongue nowadays, COVID-19 infection. So, the topic of my today's presentation and discussion is spread of COVID-19 infection, impact of atmospheric parameters. Being an atmospheric scientist, always I try to look into the atmospheric contribution in various processes, various diseases, and you can say for the societal perspectives, how the atmosphere can be used for a benefit of the society. So in that step, I am presenting this work again based on the COVID-19 pandemic. Though I am not a medical doctor, but for this, I have studied little bit about the medical parameters of the COVID-19 and their infections. Along with this, my co-authors are Dr. Prashant Kumar from Space Application Center, Saurita Saha, my colleague, and one of my trainee, Mittal Parmar from SVNIT Surat. To move ahead, the outline of my today's presentation will be introduction, atmospheric impacts on the COVID-19, tropical versus mid-latitude scenario. This is very important. Variability in the atmospheric boundary layer during COVID-19, okay, and then some results. Lastly, I will summarize with a footnote. So the two pictures which are taken from web resources, COVID-19, we won't like to see, or we would like to get rid of these things, and we have to save ourselves from coronavirus. So coronavirus 2019, you can say COVID-19 disease is basically a large family of viruses that cause a variety of illness. Okay, that is common cold and cough, Middle East respiratory syndrome, MERS-CoV, and severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS-CoV. So this coronavirus comes under severe acute respiratory syndrome category, and N is added, like it's a novel. So a brief history of this is novel coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2 2019, nCoV. This is a medical terminology, and it is from William M. Detmer from USA, who is a medical doctor. So just little bit about the coronavirus. In late 2019, like in November, December, a new coronavirus not previously seen in the humans, which was not seen previously in the human, was identified as the cause of human illness in China and named at 2019 nCoV. nCoV means novel coronavirus. By late January 2020, this outbreak was declared a public health emergency by WHO, and later it was categorized as a pandemic by WHO in March 2020. You may remember when it was declared a pandemic by WHO, that time in India also a strict lockdown was imposed during the last week of March. So this was a little bit about the historical perspective. It is very new virus which came only late 2019, and then it has created havoc around the globe. We all are suffering directly or indirectly. And again, a medical terminology. If you see the epidemiology of this one, how it was produced and how it is spreading, how it can be controlled, that is the meaning of epidemiology. So it spreads like human to human transmission via respiratory droplets or fomites. Median incubation period from exposure to symptom onset is about 4 to 5 days. And one study has reported that about 97% persons with COVID-19 infections symptoms will do so within about 11.5 days. About 11.5 days. Please remember, I have just marked these things by red marker. Just if you see that it is marked by this 4 or 5 days, that symptom will be seen, and about these many persons are like that. This who develop symptom will do so within 11.5 dose of SARS coronavirus infection. And then there are severe complications. If you see, the complications of severe COVID-19 are like pneumonia, which is viral pneumonia, very dangerous. Then what happens? Acute respiratory distress syndrome comes, ARDS. Sepsis and septic shock comes. Cardiomyopathy and arrhythmia, that is related to the heart, irregular heartbeat. Then it may cause acute kidney injury. Then several other complications like that nosocomial infection. This I have marked as a red because this infection is not related to COVID virus. Because when you go to the hospital, so due to surrounding, what infection you get, that is a nosocomial infection. Then thromboembolism, gastrointestinal bleeding, critical illness, and myopathy, and so many things. So you can say this list is not exhaustive because this disease is so young. Still, the several researches and several documents are being made to further confirm what are other diseases can be caused due to COVID-19, or you can say the side effect of the COVID-19. So in a way, I'm not scaring, but it is a very dangerous disease. One has to keep oneself healthy, immune system up, and try to live in the healthy atmosphere and keep your atmosphere healthy, keep your surrounding healthy, keep washing your hand frequently, and keep wearing the mask when you move out. So objective of the present study is to recognize the association of COVID-19 virus transmission with atmospheric and air quality parameter. As I told, I am a doctor of atmosphere, an atmospheric scientist, not a medical doctor. So what are the basic atmospheric parameters which are affecting the spread of the COVID-19? That are temperature, moisture, particulate matter, nitrogen dioxide, and so many more. Why I have pointed here only 4? Because these I have studied in detail, how they affect the spread of the COVID-19 in different environments. For this, I have used the reproduction number, that is R0, okay, and which is a measure to reflect the infectiousness of this disease. So R0, or rather most commonly known R0, R0 is a measure to reflect the infectiousness of the disease. And the COVID-19 transmission for tropical and mid-latitude countries has been studied. Here, if you see in this view graph, the tropics are having usually the 2 seasons, wet and dry. But mid-latitude in the northern hemisphere as well as in the southern hemisphere, they are having the 4 seasons: summer, autumn, winter, and spring. And of course, the polar regions are very thinly populated and they have polar day and night, whether it is Antarctic region or the Arctic region. So the tropics are very unique and they have a lot of population here. In the tropics, from 20 degree north to 20 degree south is very thickly populated. And in the mid-latitude, the southern hemisphere is not of much concern because there is very thin population. But mid-latitude in the northern hemisphere, the most of the America, Canada, all the European countries, Russia, China, and so many countries, they are coming in the northern hemispheric mid-latitude belt, and where you might have noticed that coronavirus is creating still havoc and making the life miserable to many, you can say, who are living there. So if you see, just coming to the atmosphere, the troposphere, which is the lowest part of the Earth atmosphere where we live, which is in the touch of the surface, or you can say Earth's surface. So there are several things are there. You see, where we live, our trees, plant, factories, cars, everything is there. And this has like that, there is one surface layer, and that surface layer, and then the sunlight comes in the short wave radiations and other radiations, it is absorbed. Then Earth re-radiates the long wave radiation, and due to this, the temperature gradient is maintained. Negative temperature gradient is maintained in troposphere, and due to this outgoing long wave radiation, turbulent it is, and due to surface feature, there is a very beautiful inversion layer is there, that is known as atmospheric boundary layer, and that atmospheric boundary layer plays very important role in various atmospheric parameter. So I have studied the effect of COVID-19 at atmospheric boundary layer also, which is very, very important and very novel study. So, and above that there is a free troposphere. So this boundary layer and free troposphere. So I have studied the other parameters up to free troposphere, but mostly in the boundary layer or on the surface of the earth, okay, where we live. I would like to spend a couple of minutes. What is R0 or R0? The R0 estimate the speed at which a disease is capable of spreading in a population. How it spreads? It represents the expected number of secondary new infections produced by an infectious person in completely susceptible population. That is very recent publication by Sahin et al. Has given. Mathematically, R0 is a threshold for stability of disease-free equilibrium and is related to the peak and final size of the epidemic or pandemic. So R0 is a very important parameter to see that how it is going to spread, how much time it will spread, and how fast it will spread in which region, and how it is affected by the atmospheric parameter that I have investigated. The increase in the infected population is represented by when R0 is more than 1, and transmission of influenza likely to decrease if the R0 goes below 1. So once R0 goes below 1, then we are in the little safer zone. But as long as the R0 for a given place, given region or given country is more than R1, then we are still have to take precautions and one has to be careful. Still it is spreading. So now I am coming to little bit towards the result section. So daily increase in the number of infections in India during initial period and how the index R0 varied. So if you see here, the two plots are shown. The one plot is showing like that during the initial days when the number of infection in India was very less. It is 18 March, 25 March, 1st April, 8th April, 15 April, and so on. I have here shown only a snapshot of this one. So if you see in the beginning of the March, the number of infections were below 200. But once the first phase of lockdown, 24th lockdown was, Janata curfew was on 22nd. Then 23rd onward, there was a lockdown, 23rd March, when the WHO declared a pandemic. Then you see from 1st of April, the number of infections in India increased very hugely. And that is still kept on increasing till November and December, though there was some ups and downs and there was regional variability and so many things were there. And if you see their estimate of the R0 index during this period, it shows like that. Here, this spread, what you say, it is a 95% confidence level. And the red line, what you say, see here, this one is a mean value. So you can see that in the beginning, the COVID number of new incidences of COVID-19 increased rapidly after 1st April 2020. The estimate of the instantaneous R0 over sliding weekly window are shown here. R0 reduced significantly after the lockdown. So the people who say the lockdown was useless, no. Scientifically, it is now proven that the lockdown was very, very useful, not only in spreading, in maintaining the environmental condition. I would like to say here that during lockdown, you are inside the home. So you are safeguarding yourself, not only being at home only. Once you are not moving out, then you are not polluting the atmosphere. You are not disturbing the equilibrium of the atmosphere. So that way also the atmosphere becomes healthy. And when the atmosphere and air which we breathe, that becomes healthy and that increases our immunity. And we are inside home. So that way the lockdown is important and beneficial. Of course, it gives so many pains due to economic conditions, losing of the jobs, and so many problems are there. But the lockdown was very useful and that has been shown here. You can see the spread index has reduced significantly during the lockdown. And after that also I have done that whenever the lockdown was unlock 1, unlock 2, unlock 3 and so on, then this spread was fluctuating. So you can see the value of R0 is increased further after 1st April. You see, here you see it was in the last week of March like that, it was very high, and then it went down during the first lockdown, and then again it increased and remained above 1. Please remember, when the second phase of lockdown around 15 April, it was over, then afterward also R0 was more than 1, indicating that the pandemic was not over and still going on. That's what there was a need to further extend the lockdown with opening of the essential things. So please remember that as long as this spread index R0 or R0 will be more than 1, we are vulnerable for the further infections. So we have to be careful. Then taking the atmospheric parameter, as I told, the most important parameters are what? There are temperature, relative humidity, NO2 means pollutants, then aerosols, that is known as a dust. So I have taken the two scenarios here, tropical scenario and the mid-latitude scenario. If you see here, these are plotted against the reproduction number, that is R0 again. So if you see in the tropical region, first focus here in the tropical region, that the R0 is like that. Basically R0 is between 1 to 3 and so on in the tropical region, and the temperatures are basically, you can say, in this range from, you can say, about 10 degree to you can say 37 or 38 degree, and they are confined here. And if you see the correlation with the relative humidity, in relative humidity also, if you see the relative humidity from few percent to about 80 to 90%, relative humidity changes, but the spread index in the tropical region, you see, it has never gone beyond 3. And that was, you can say, the God blessing for us. It has never gone in uncontrolled way, how the things are happening. But unfortunately, if you see towards the mid latitudes, their temperature, you can see ranging from minus to up to 22-25 degrees Celsius, and relative humidity also varies hugely. But the alarming thing here, if you see the spread index in the some regions or in some places is going as high as 5. The correlation with the temperature with the spread index is as high as 5, and with the relative humidity also. And that's what you might have noted, that coronavirus has created major problems or more problems in the mid latitude regions rather than in the low latitude region countries. That if you see here, few regions are highly influenced in the mid latitude, that is represented at a high value of R0 is not, hence high probability of further spread of the infection. And you might be noting that in few countries, European country, it had been accepted a second wave is on, like in UK recently it was there, now it is in France. So these atmospheric parameters are highly important to investigate how fast this coronavirus will spread from one person to another person, and then it will multiply so fast. Then if you see, these are, you can say, natural parameter, temperature and relative humidity, which are not under our control. These are the natural. But if you see other few parameters, which are like PM 2.5, the particulate matter 2.5 micrometer size, and then PM 10, if you see the PM 10, then CO, which is fully man-made, then dust AOD, and of course temperature and relative humidity. And if you see the time series of this, that was earlier slide was a correlation with the spread index, but if you see the absolute value of these parameters, so just if you see that A and B are showing, these are the global values. If you see 2019 and 2020, 2019 is sort of a control year during these days, these are the days, okay. So, and 2020 is a coronavirus period, and that is lockdown period. That was sort of global lockdown. So you can see clearly when the lockdown was imposed, then slightly temperatures were lower. The red one is 2020, you see, and blue one is a 2019. The temperatures were slightly lower during when the lockdown was there. If you go on the relative humidity, it was other way around. The relative humidity was little more during the lockdown period than the control year during the similar days. But if you come to PM10 2.5 and PM10, there is a remarkable or drastic change was seen, and that was very useful in stopping the spread of that. Just if you see, the dust particle becomes carrier for coronavirus. If more dust in the atmosphere, and PM 2.5 or PM10, PM20, these are there, so they become carrier for the spreading of the coronavirus. So as I told, being at home, you are saving yourself, and same time you are saving your atmosphere for yourself as well as for a broader cause for the world. So you can clearly see that PM 2.5 was significantly lower during 2020 in the same period as compared to 2019. And same with coarser particles, which are bigger size PM10, they were also showing the lower values during 2020 than 2019. If you come to the CO, carbon monoxide, which is a highly polluting gas, which is being emitted mostly from industries and pollutions, biomass burning, etc. So if you see that the blue again 2019 and the red one is 2020. So you can see that though the values you see in the 2020 also it was lower, but there was a transition, and then due to lockdown also it was lower. So it need to be further investigated why these values are basically during 2019 also, before lockdown also there was low, but there was a reason because there was a intermittent rain at few places. And you dust, if you see that it has like that, as you usually after winter it picks up, and it was picking up, and then total dust also in 2020. So atmosphere was clean, and if you see here the PM 2.5 and PM10 was reduced. Then the carbon monoxide, okay, NO2 I will show in the next slide. If you will see, then carbon monoxide also it was showing the reduced values in this study. These are used from the space-borne sensors or satellites, and wherever the satellite observation were not available, we have used the numerical weather prediction model data in this one. So this value could be due to the biasing of the model also, that in 2019 and 20 values before lockdown also are showing the drastic difference. So we have used the satellite as well as the model observation. Now you see if the PM 2.5 distribution during pre-lockdown and lockdown. So this upper panel here shows exactly, please note that exactly scales and everything is kept similar. So during pre-lockdown period, if you see, this is Indo-Gangetic Plain and neighboring, you can say northeast region, and this one, and this is of course the Chinese region are there. So if you see the pre-lockdown period, there was a heavy loading, and the northeast region, basically Shillong or so, they were very heavily loaded. But if you see during lockdown, there was a very clear picture. Clear picture means the atmosphere was almost, you can say, having very less number of PM 2.5. So what is the inference from this figure? The significantly higher PM 2.5 is found over the Indo-Gangetic Plain during pre-lockdown period as compared to the lockdown period. And this basically has been calculated using the Copernicus Atmospheric Monitoring Service CAMS model given by Ines et al. 2019. Basically, this is a part of the CAMS model, that more PM 2.5 is observed over the southwest and southeast part of India in lockdown period as compared to pre-lockdown period. Why this? Why in the southwest region and southeast part of India during the lockdown period it was little more? Region of slightly higher values of PM 2.5 during lockdown is mainly due to the precipitation occurred during pre-lockdown period over these regions. We have cross-checked this values, wherever some values are higher, their precipitation occurs. And once precipitation occurs, then basically that sometime what happens, the finer mode particles are little more into the atmosphere. Significantly higher values of PM 2.5 over the Northeast India is pre-lockdown period as compared to the lockdown period. This is also inference, you see. It is found that the lockdown over Indian region due to COVID-19 transmission significantly improved the air quality. And that has given us a lot of respite. And you can say the spread index, as I have shown earlier, it has given us a shield. We are at home, we kept our air clear, we kept our atmosphere clean, and we did not give the more carriers to the coronavirus to reach from one person to another person. So please remember, always not only keep your home clean, keep your atmosphere also clean, keep your air also clean, and that will keep us healthy. So in healthy atmosphere, we can live happily. Then if you see the another pollutant gas, NO2, during lockdown period and lockdown period, there is a significant differences there. This is a pre-lockdown period scenario of, and this has been taken from ozone monitoring instrument OMI satellite. So this is scenario over Indian region and neighboring region during pre-lockdown period, and this is during lockdown period. You can see the significant reduction. And what is the inference from this? The NO2 is mainly generated by combustion process from anthropogenic pollutant sources like energy production, transportation, and other industrial activities. It is anthropogenically produced NO2. We found the significantly less values of NO2 over Indian land masses in lockdown period as compared to the lockdown period. As you have seen that it is pre-lockdown period and lockdown period. You can see the drastic difference, or you can say drastic reduction in this toxic gas. The reduction in NO2 concentration are noteworthy over the north and western part of India. If you see the northwestern part of India, then these are really noteworthy. If you focus here and if you focus here, there is a significant difference, or you can say the cleaning of the atmosphere. Few locations in central India have high NO2 in both the pre-lockdown and post-lockdown or lockdown period. If you see these regions, this region and this region, they are showing almost same, that in both the pre-lockdown and lockdown period due to operational power plant over these regions, because we cannot live without power. In these regions, there are so many power plants are there, and these power plants were not shut down, and it cannot be shut down because we need the electricity, we need the country to run, because the power is most important thing, electric. So due to this, you can see that in pre-lockdown, post-lockdown, in this region there is not much difference, but if you see here and here, there is a huge difference during lockdown period and pre-lockdown period. The present study clearly shows that the air quality of India and nearby region is improved significantly during lockdown period as compared to the pre-lockdown period. And we ourselves should be congratulated for this. We followed the strict lockdown, and that's what we could safeguard of millions of people, are our neighbors, are we all. Then if you see the total AOD, total aerosol optical depth, not distinguishing like PM 2.5, PM 10 or etc. If you see total aerosol loading, columnar loading, that is AOD, and I use the modest satellite observation over Indian and nearby regions. A represents pre-lockdown period and B is a lockdown period. So you can see there is a clear difference. This is basically the pre-lockdown, okay, no lockdown they were there. Then this is the AOD values. So you can see the AOD values are 0.9 or 0.8 or so. But if you see during the lockdown period, we were breathing very clear air, okay, and this was basically a real vaccine for all of us, okay. And then these values are less than 0.5, or you can say nearly zeros AOD values in most of the central part of the India. So this is, and again these regions where you will see this still AOD is little higher, or you can say that is due to that operationalization of a power plant and other anthropogenic activities. So the AOD data also shows reduction in aerosol particles over Indo-Gangetic plate. Significant reduction in the Indo-Gangetic plate, which is very thickly populated. Then I am switching the gear and coming to another parameter where we live, like atmospheric boundary layer. Just like our house, room, we want bigger and bigger house. Similarly, we want the higher and higher, you can say, the packing volume of the boundary layer. So the atmospheric boundary layer is the lowest layer of the atmosphere adjacent to the Earth's surface, also known as sometimes planetary boundary layer. Respond to surface forcing in time scale less than an hour or so. Very dynamic. What is the meaning of this one? Respond to surface forcing in time scales are less than an hour or so. You can say very fast moving. Driven by solar energy, terrain, surface friction, and so many things. And boundary layer height, BLH, varies between 100 meters to few kilometers. Boundary layer height affected by turbulence, convection, and winds, and so many other parameters. BLH determine extent of vertical mixing, emission of toxic gases and particulate matter, regulates air quality variation, etc. Emission of toxic gases means what? The gases are emitted, but that if they are packed in the bigger volume, then the gas density or pollution density becomes less. So then we are breathing less toxic air. But when the packing volume is less, or you can say the boundary layer is shallow, then we are breathing very much polluted air. And example I will give, during winter months, if you see over Delhi, there is just so much problem. Why? Because the boundary layer height becomes less than 500 meters sometime. And so many anthropogenic activities are increased. How? The Ferrari burning. Everybody wants like to keep themselves hot, like burning tires, burning wood, burning cow dung. So many things are being burned. And these all pollutants are packed in a very shallow boundary layer. So it becomes really a gas chamber, toxic gas chamber. Same thing, if you see during summer month, the boundary layer height becomes 2.5 kilometer or 3 kilometer. So during that time, no one burns the tire for keeping them hot. No one burns the wood to keep them hot, or you can say to keep them warm. And boundary layer is 2.5 kilometers. So just you think the pollution, almost the constant pollution is there due to the general activities. And the boundary layer became 5 times more, or you can say the packing volume became 5 times more. That's what we can easily breathe. And air quality index is not so pure. So please remember this boundary layer we have as a packing volume. And what happened during the coronavirus time, our COVID lockdown period, that we have investigated over Ahmedabad. So just with brief introduction of the boundary layer, if you see how intricately it is involved, our boundary layer involves so many atmospheric processes. So it influences weather and hydrological cycle, dispersion of pollutant and trace gases, as I told. Okay. Surface drag, ocean currents, source of heat and moisture, kinetic energy dissipation, etc. So you see incoming solar radiation is absorbed, then reflected radiation, then emitted long wave radiation. They are again absorbed by the greenhouse gases. Then these two things are related to the surface, like sensible heat into the atmosphere and latent heat of the surface due to conduction. And then wind, of course, plays the role. And so many wind, temperature, sensible heat, latent heat, and then radiation. These all playing the role in maintaining the boundary layer. So you can see that how important is investigation of the boundary layer and how many atmospheric parameters are related to this. So this, if you see by these processes, the boundary layer, this is a schematic view. If you see like stable layer, surface layer, mixed layer, residual layer, entertainment zone, and capping. So these are basically, you can say, the branches of the boundary layer. So the stable layer you can see here like that. That stable layer is here, the contact layer type of thing you see here. That is surface layer. This is almost there. That is, as I told, in Delhi is 500 meter or something always remains there. Then basically this is a residual layer here. Then this is a mixed layer during, you can say, daytime or so. Once day goes off, then during sunset, again the residual layer remains here. And then this is like that nocturnal stable boundary layer. This is nocturnal, okay, boundary layer. And this capping inversion is like, it is wearing the cap. It is not allowing the pollutants to go into the free atmosphere. And that's what the importance of the boundary layer. So this is an ideal view of the boundary layer. If there is no, you can say the atmospheric processes are like that, you can say fixed atmospheric processes are there in idealized atmosphere, then this scenario will be seen. But you know that all the parameters, what I have shown earlier here, that these all are highly variable in itself. All parameters are varying. So then boundary layer has to vary. And then we have done like that the real observation of the boundary layer. So over Ahmedabad, since couple of years, we are observing the boundary layer along with other various parameters every 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds into, you can say 24 hours, into months, into years. So almost from 2 years we are observing, and on the basis of that, you see that that idealized layer was shown, and I have tried to mark here, this is observed by our LiDAR. So this is a stable layer, here it is a mixed layer, then a stable layer, this is residual layer. So in idealized one, you see that everything was looking like it is very smooth and idealized, but it is not so. Because you see, there are humps and bumps. This is a capping inversion, and this is a free troposphere, of course. So there's so many complex processes that are taking place. Then what happened during the COVID period? That was our, you can say, aim, and to investigate what had happened. So the convection and turbulence during daytime, boundary layer grows as a mixed layer. Then surface cooling at night, no vertical mixing, or you can say very little vertical mixing, then boundary layer sinks. And residual layer remnant of the boundary layer previous afternoon, till previous afternoon. So this is a basically typical boundary layer dynamics observed by LiDAR over Ahmedabad, and this paper soon will be communicated. That work is almost over, and we are in process of finalizing this paper. So you can see that how complex behavior, and that the vertical resolution is order of 10 meter. So you can see that every 10 meter vertical resolution and 15 seconds of the temporal resolution, we are taking the atmospheric observation over Ahmedabad. Then you see here, one more thing I would like to highlight here before I end. This is basically our Ahmedabad monthly and seasonal variation. As all atmospheric parameters are changing monthly and seasonally and annually, interannually. So we have observation to study the day-to-day changes, monthly changes, seasonal changes, and interannual changes. We will need few more years data that we are collecting to study the interannual variation. But if you see over Ahmedabad, how from January to June, the boundary layer height is changing. That you can see that how dynamic it is there. As I told, it comes as low as you can say below 1 kilometer and goes as up as 2.2 kilometer or 2.3 kilometer during the summer month. If you take the seasonally, the winter months and the summer month clubbed together, so the difference between the boundary layer height, peak boundary layer height over Ahmedabad during winter and summer is more than about a kilometer. Okay, about kilometer. So that you can see that how the packing volume changes during the day and night time over Ahmedabad. And now I will say that we should not have this time again, but that was a time when the strict lockdown was there. And this is observation exactly about, you can say, 1 year before, 2nd April 2019. You can see then how the box was filled, how the boundary layer was filled with the so many pollutants. This was a pre-lockdown time. Exactly, we were lucky to have the observation on the same dates. We have several such observations, but here I am showing only one as a sample. You can see the changes in the boundary layer characteristics are so many. How? That if you see that peak height during pre-lockdown period on the 2nd April 2019 was found about 2.5 kilometer. And the time of the peak height was afternoon, after 4 o'clock. But if you see during the lockdown period, it was a strict lockdown over Ahmedabad during first week of April. So 2020, you see that it would like an empty vessel. Empty vessel, you can see, we should be congratulated for this. Atmosphere was so clean. You see that nocturnal layer, a stable layer start growing, and then there was no pumping of the pollutants here. So that's what you see that the SNR, signal to noise ratio, is, you can say, the intensity is very, very less. And what we have noted further, the time of the peak also has come towards the normal time, and the height has come down. This is basically in contrast. I want to point out here, this is in contrast to the episodes of the pollution. When there is a controlled, you can say that pollution episodes are less or more, then usually when the pollution is less, then the boundary layer height goes up. But here during the global lockdown period, we have found that the boundary layer has come down over Ahmedabad. So this is really a remarkable observational result which is being investigated further. We are investigating it in more in detail, but you can see the clear difference of pre-lockdown and lockdown period. How the atmospheric boundary layer has changed over Ahmedabad. So to summarize my today's discussion, finding of this work suggests that mid-latitude atmospheric conditions are more favorable to COVID-19 transmission as compared to the tropical atmosphere. It's a God's grace, we are saved. Present study has revealed the impact of global as well as Indian lockdown on air quality and R0 values for COVID-19 transmission. R0 value is very, very important for estimating the rate of the infections, how fast the infections will increase to other public. It is found that global and Indian lockdown helped to reduce R0 values of COVID-19 transmission, which is associated, or you can say which is closely associated with the atmospheric and air quality parameter such as NO2, PM2.5. These are basically man-made, and other natural parameters which are not in our hand, temperature, relative humidity, etc. A significant reduction of air pollution over India in lockdown situation also indicates to continue exploring the clean energy perspective in the future. That is, you can say, like a suggestion, take home message. A significant reduction of air pollution over India during lockdown situation also indicate to continue exploring the clean energy prospect to keep our atmosphere healthy. If our atmosphere is healthy, clean, if our house is healthy and clean, then we can live happily and healthy. Significant changes in the boundary layer characteristics are found during lockdown over Ahmedabad, which is further still being investigated, that how the boundary layer is affected during global lockdown, and not only Ahmedabad, at other places also we are investigating wherever we have our LIDAR observatories under our Indian LIDAR network program. With this, these are the few of the references which we have used in our study, and of course many more and references are there, and then references inside there, that references, so that has been used for this study. Lastly, I believe you too would be wishing for COVID-19 free world. Please wish as soon as possible this world should be COVID-19 free. This pandemic should be over. It is too much, but still, as long as COVID-19 is there, please do follow all the precautions. Wish you all very happy, healthy, and enjoyable life. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.